Are we witnessing the death of the American dream? Homeownership is becoming impossible for millions, but there is a surprising revolution that's quietly reshaping the housing market right now, and it's called build to rent, and it's not what you think. You have made it to the original Living in New Smyrna Beach YouTube real estate channel. Thank you for joining us if it's your first time here, and for our loyal subscribers, thank you for tuning in yet again. My name is Chris Schwartz, my business partner, and I, Tim Loomis, are the owners of White Whale Real Estate. We go over all things local happenings, events, businesses, and anything you need to know to be in the know, to feel like a local in the New Smyrna Beach, Volusia County greater area. If you haven't already, please remember to like, subscribe, and follow. We're here to help you out and keep you informed as much as we can. And today we want to talk to you about the reality of build to rent and what that looks like and how it's going to be shaping basically America's future. Okay, so this BTR, the build to rent, is real. It's happening now. There's already 90,000 scheduled units that are in the process of being built, primarily in the Florida, Texas regions. There's some out in the West as well. Northeast isn't really experiencing a lot right now. So this can completely change the way we live our lives as Americans. It could be a great solution, or it could be a ticking time bomb. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll let you know what I think at the end about the whole situation. So welcome to the world of build to rent housing. So at first glance, it looks like your dream neighborhood, modern homes, walking paths, playgrounds, even pools. But there is a catch. You're never going to own a single brick of this home that you're going to be living in, essentially, which isn't like a normal traditional multifamily home. These are all single family residents built out. So let me take you back a little bit to 2008. The housing market had just crashed, and institutional investors like Wall Street, as they normally do, swooped in and started buying foreclosure homes by the thousands. These investors didn't do what they typically do. They didn't sell them, they rented them out. And what they came to realize is kind of their big investor aha moment, is they found that renters were willing to pay a premium for houses with a professional touch, reliable maintenance, high-end finishes, and the amenities that you would tend to find or experience in a luxury neighborhood. So hence, build to rent was born. So instead of flipping houses, developers began building entire neighborhoods exclusively for renting. Now, these began in early 2000s, but the true explosion happened around 2020, is when the build to rent market really exploded. Today, major corporations like Blackstone are pumping billions into these developments. All right, so here's where it starts to get really interesting. Is the trend really solving housing affordability, or is it just another way for these big corporations to cash in while locking regular people out of home ownership? So to give you an example, we'll just pick a nice couple. We'll call them Sarah and Mike. They're in their mid-30s, they've got 2 kids, and after years of frustrating attempts to buy a home, they realized they just couldn't compete in the insane housing market that we have right now. So they eventually found a build to rent community. You know, as we said before, it's got all the things they wanted. It's got a modern home, it's got great schools nearby, zero maintenance, zero headaches for them. So it was really a perfect living situation. But as always, there's always a twist, there's always a hook. So 5 years later, Sarah and Mike, they're still renting. Rent has increased by at least 30%. They still love the lifestyle, but they're no closer to building equity or securing their financial future. So this is kind of the picture I'm trying to paint a little bit. It is a double-edged sword of the build to rent. So for some, it is a dream come true. For others, it's a trap that keeps them renting forever. So people I could see this really working for would be somebody like empty nesters. We did a video on those. If you're an empty nester, click there to check that one out. Or just kind of depending on what stage your life on, it could be a really good thing, but you just want to make sure you're not getting locked into something that's not going to benefit your financial future for the long term. So what does the future hold? The old crystal ball question. Experts predict that by 2030, build to rent developments will account for over 50% of new housing in some markets. These are going to be bigger markets like Florida, Texas's, Arizona's, which can be great news for renters. More options mean better quality most of the time. But it could also mean home ownership becomes even more unobtainable for the average family. And if these giant corporations control most of our housing, the question is, are the renters still going to have a say in their community? Remember, there's already nearly 90,000 BTR units under construction across the US, with over 56,000 units in the Sun Belt region alone. So A lot of stuff happening here. Remember again, these are single family resident homes. This is not gonna be your typical multifamily apartment style complex. It is gonna be just one big giant neighborhood filled of single family homes. So the appeal is there for people that are trying to kind of, I guess, beat the system right now and wait the market out to actually buy a home. Okay, so if you never heard the build to rent or the BTR, this could be a very eye-opening or scary moment of real estate for you. So let me know, what do you think? Is the build to rent the solution we need, or do you think it's just creating more problems? Please let me know your comments below. Love to hear the thoughts and create a bigger discussion about it. I feel like a lot of people don't know these exist or that it's even going on. So really the bottom line, build to rent, it's not a housing trend. It's a glimpse into the future of how we could possibly be living, for better or worse. It is currently right now, in my opinion, kind of redefining what the American dream is. To me, it's a little scary seeing these single family residences being built in these huge communities and having the institutional investors have ownership over them. I feel like it eventually will allow us not to have the control and the freedoms as Americans that we're used to. I think we could quickly be letting that slip away by taking the choice of convenience and ease and comfort. Albeit being said, I do understand the hardships of becoming a homeowner, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, what it takes to get a down payment, all the things that it takes to actually get it. But at the end of the day, if you can achieve it, you are still achieving that American dream. You are overcoming the hurdle, the obstacles that life is gonna throw at you, regardless if you're living in a build to rent style neighborhood or if you had the trials and tribulations of becoming a homeowner as well. Remember, these build to rents, they're nice because you have all the great things, but they also always come at a cost. Number one being you're never gonna have any equity or have any ownership of the home, and rent is always gonna go up. It's never gonna stay the same, and it certainly is never gonna get cheaper. So that's my personal thoughts on it. I can see how it could help alleviate some issues short term, or again, for empty nesters or people that are just kind of in that downsizing phase of life. I think it can be a really great opportunity. But as far as us utilizing it as a whole for a crutch to affordable housing, I think it's just gonna end up putting us in a weird, bad spot to be in as the American people and consumers as a whole. So again, let me know what you guys think. Hope you enjoyed this video. Gives you a little bit more real estate insight of what's happening in the wonderful world of real estate. Hope you guys have a wonderful Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the good stuff. Thanks for being with us, and we'll catch you in next week's video.